Welcome back to Anfield Wire. Big drama in MLS as Luis Suarez stuns in a new role while Lionel Messi is left furious, and that's not all. We've got major Liverpool transfer updates, a reported personal agreement for a $118 million winger, and 3 Premier League clubs circling a red star. Make sure you watch till the end for all the latest updates, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Anfield Wire for daily Liverpool news and breaking transfer stories. Luis Suarez adopts unlikely role as Lionel Messi left furious in MLS season opener. Former Liverpool striker Luis Suarez was the unlikely voice of reason as Lionel Messi was left furious during Inter Miami's 3-0 defeat against LAFC in last weekend's MLS opener. Former Liverpool striker Luis Suarez was the unlikely voice of reason as he attempted to calm Lionel Messi down during the MLS opener against LAFC this weekend. Suarez and Messi were on the wrong end of a 3-0 defeat, with David Martinez, Dennis Bouanga and Nathan Ordaz all scoring. It is the heaviest defeat head coach Javier Mascherano, another Liverpool link, has suffered since losing to Charlotte FC in September. Messi was furious at the final whistle, with footage emerging from the tunnel of the Inter Miami captain attempting to force his way into the officials' locker room following the match, with Suarez trying to hold him back. Messi came back out seconds later alongside Suarez before they walked to their side's locker room. The Argentine was unhappy with Inter Miami's third loss in its last 4 trips to LAFC in all competitions. Inter Miami will look to get its first win of the campaign against Orlando City on March 1st. Messi could open his account for the season in that fixture. Messi's team is playing a series of away fixtures to begin the season and doesn't have a home game until April 4th. That is because of work being done on their new Miami Freedom Park Stadium. Since signing from PSG in 2023, Messi has scored 77 goals and provided 44 assists for Inter Miami in 89 appearances. Suarez, meanwhile, has 72 goal contributions in 88 games. Messi is under contract until 2028, while Suarez penned an extension with the MLS franchise in December. The Uruguayan was tied down for another campaign after netting 17 goals in 2025. Ex-Liverpool and Barcelona star Suarez initially arrived at Inter Miami ahead of the 2024 season. He was a key member as the MLS giant had a record-breaking year, clinching its first Supporters' Shield while securing the MLS single-season points record in the process. His form was crucial to the success as he led the team in goals with 25 across all competitions. Suarez's 20 regular season goals were also the second most among all players in MLS in 2024, tied with Messi. The Inter Miami ace also added 9 regular season assists, as well as a goal and an assist in the playoffs. He was an ever-present figure leading the team's attack, playing in 37 matches across all competitions in 2024, including 27 in regular season play. Phil Thompson spots Liverpool weapon as Arne Slot notices change. Liverpool utilized a new weapon to great effect against Nottingham Forest, with the Reds having changed their fortunes from set pieces after a big change to Arne Slot's staff. Liverpool may well have added a new weapon to its armory this season after a big change in Arne Slot's backroom staff. The Reds boosted their Champions League hopes on Sunday with a last-gasp win over Nottingham Forest, courtesy of Alexis Mac Allister's goal, although Slot can take some credit, with his changes helping to turn the tide of what seemed to be an inevitable goalless draw. Rio Ngumoha has been praised for his impact off the bench at the City Ground, but it's not just the teenager who had an effect, with Joe Gomez's introduction also seeing Liverpool employ a strategy that has often worked against it this season. The defender's long throws were utilized well, with one of his launches into the penalty area almost resulting in a Mac Allister winner just before the clock hit 90, only for VAR to intervene. And though it was a more conventional throw that resulted in the eventual winner a few minutes later, Gomez may well have given Liverpool another option for the remainder of the season as it looks to beat Manchester United and Chelsea to a place in the Champions League. The thing about it with Joe Gomez, one of the big pluses today was the long throws towards the end of the game, club legend Phil Thompson said on the official Liverpool FC podcast after the game. As we've seen against us, very much a weapon. I think with Joe you see Virgil, Van Dijk, and Ibu, Konate, going up, so they must have confidence in him to get the ball to that 6-yard box. Right or wrong, it adds a little bit of pressure and it causes more problems. It's a weapon that other clubs have used, so why shouldn't we? And Joe brings that. The introduction of Gomez's long throws comes after a shake-up in Liverpool's approach to set pieces, having previously been the holder of the worst record from set plays in Europe's biggest leagues. Aaron Briggs departed as the club's set-piece specialist, and the club's fortunes have improved since then. While Slot doesn't want to pin the blame on his former coach, the Reds boss has noticed a difference. It would be very unfair to Aaron, who was partly responsible for set pieces, but in the end, I'm responsible for everything, Slot said last week. We were in that period of time so unlucky. We all knew that it couldn't go on like that. We hardly gave away any chances, but every ball went in, and we created multiple opportunities to score, and the ball didn't go in. That things have gone back to normal now is what we expected. In general, we didn't change that much, maybe some slight changes. But things just went back to normal. Liverpool transfer news as Reds have personal agreement with $118 million winger. The latest Liverpool transfer news and rumours as Bayern Munich fears it is set to miss out on another top target to the Reds, while Lucas Bergvall is being linked with a possible move to Merseyside. Bayern Munich reportedly believes that Liverpool and Yen Diomande have a personal agreement in place for the winger to move to Anfield at the end of the season. Diomande has emerged as one of the highest-rated young forwards in Europe this season, registering 9 goals and 7 assists in 25 appearances in all competitions for RB Leipzig. A Bayern insider, who goes by the name Bayern Space on social media platform X, says the German club, which is also interested in Diomande, internally believes the 19-year-old will likely end up at Liverpool. The insider adds that Bayern could turn its attention to Cody Gakpo this summer if Diomande moves to Merseyside. Gakpo claimed last year that he was the subject of interest from Bayern before the German club signed Liverpool teammate Luis Diaz instead. From what I understand, they did come, but they ended up buying Luis Diaz, Gakpo said in September 2025. Diomande, meanwhile, is seemingly viewed as a possible long-term successor to Mohamed Salah on the right side of Liverpool's attack. Salah is contracted to Liverpool until 2027, having signed a 2-year extension last year. But he has shown significant signs of decline this season and is expected to be the subject of interest from clubs in the Saudi Pro League this summer. Meanwhile, Tottenham has reportedly slapped a $77 million price tag on Lucas Bergvall amid apparent interest in the youngster from Liverpool. Bergvall, who turned 20 years old earlier this month, has been one of Tottenham's better signings in recent years, which is why the North London club values him at significantly higher than the $11 million it paid to sign him in 2024. Swedish outlet Fotboll Direkt says that Liverpool will continue to monitor Bergvall's situation at Spurs and is poised to pounce should the opportunity to do so present itself to the Reds. Chelsea and Aston Villa are also said to be interested in Bergvall, who is currently sidelined with an ankle problem. Although Bergvall has been an impressive addition to Tottenham's squad, Spurs' reported $77 million valuation of the midfielder seems fanciful considering his underwhelming statistics for the club. Across 72 appearances in all competitions since joining Tottenham, Bergvall has registered just 2 goals and 8 assists. Rio Ngumoha solution is not as easy as Jamie Carragher thinks. Liverpool has seen why. Calls are growing for Rio Ngumoha to start for Liverpool, but it's not as easy as Jamie Carragher has suggested, and the Reds know only too well why they can't rush the teenager at just 17 years old. Rio Ngumoha is already making a serious case to be starting in the Premier League. The club and its fans have known all about his talent from the moment he made the move to Anfield from Chelsea, although few probably expected him to become a regular feature in the first-team squad just over a year later. Since then though, we've seen why he is one of the most exciting talents around in the Premier League, with aims of winning the Ballon d'Or already, and the calls for him to take the place of one of his more senior teammates are growing. In just about 20 minutes against Nottingham Forest on Sunday, Ngumoha helped change the course of what felt like a nailed-on stalemate. Suddenly, having replaced an ineffective Mohamed Salah, the teenager gave the Reds the impetus to go on and snatch victory, albeit with more than a little fortune in Alexis Mac Allister's eventual winner. You make your own luck though, and, as Jamie Carragher pointed out, Ngumoha did more than most of his teammates to earn Liverpool those 3 points. Ngumoha did more in 15 minutes than Salah and Cody Gakpo did before that, Carragher said on Sky Sports, before adding, he changed the game and needs to be starting games. It certainly feels like we're approaching that inevitability now. Salah continues to look a shadow of the player he once was, and you'd be forgiven if you hadn't realized Gakpo was actually on the pitch on Sunday. Ngumoha then might well be edging closer and closer to getting that first Premier League start. Arne Slot has exercised caution with a player still not old enough to be considered an adult, but he may well have to bite the bullet soon. That doesn't mean he should abandon that same caution though, even if Ngumoha proves to be the revelation many expect him to be. At just 17, he still has a long way to go in his development, and rushing him into senior football could end up proving more harmful than beneficial. Liverpool knows that all too well. You don't have to go too far back to remember the last time there was this much excitement about a young player. Stefan Bajcetic almost rescued what turned out to be the Reds' worst season under Jurgen Klopp in the 2022-23 campaign. By the turn of the year, he had proven himself more than worthy of his place in the lineup, leading him to start a Champions League knockout tie against Real Madrid at the age of just 18. His season would come to a premature end soon after that though. The rigors of first-team football looked as though they may have taken their toll as Bajcetic was ruled out for the remainder of the campaign just a few games later, and we've seen him make just 3 appearances for Liverpool since. Loan spells in the Bundesliga and La Liga last season looked as though they might get him back on track, but surgery was needed before the end of the campaign, and we haven't seen anything of him ever since, bar the odd glimpse of him in the gym at the AXA training center. Bajcetic offers a cautionary tale for the likes of Carragher and Daniel Sturridge, who are so eager to see Ngumoha get his chance. Of course, it's good that people are so excited about a young player coming through, but at the same time, Slot is right to be careful. He might not have much option but to give in to Carragher's demand soon, but for Ngumoha's sake, Liverpool cannot rely on him to become a straight replacement for someone like Sulla just yet. Report: 3 Premier League clubs in the race to sign Liverpool star this summer. Celtic romance meets hard Premier League reality. There is a moment in every great Liverpool career when sentiment collides with pragmatism. For Andy Robertson, that moment may be approaching. According to reporting from Caught Offside, Liverpool are quietly preparing for a future that might not include the Scotland captain, with Celtic, Atletico Madrid and 3 Premier League clubs monitoring his situation. Robertson, once the embodiment of Jurgen Klopp's thunderous left flank, now finds himself entering the final year of his contract. Sources close to the agents industry believe the summer of 2026 could be decisive. Liverpool are not forcing him out, yet the club are open to reasonable offers if it ensures regular football elsewhere. This is not betrayal. It is football's arithmetic. Robertson has given everything: Premier League glory, Champions League nights that glowed like cathedral glass, domestic cups lifted beneath red confetti. He arrived from Hull City in 2017, anonymous to some, indispensable to all within a season. But time, like an opposing winger, cannot be outrun forever. Numbers show decline yet legacy endures. There is a blunt honesty to statistics. Robertson has played only 638 Premier League minutes this season. That is not a figure befitting the relentless fullback who once led Europe in chances created from defense. Liverpool under Arne Slot, appointed in June 2024, are planning for tomorrow as well as today. Younger options, notably Milos Kerkez, are emerging. Slot respects Robertson's leadership but cannot ignore biology. Caught Offside noted that natural physical decline has affected his form and performances. That is not criticism. It is recognition of the clock's tick. Robertson remains fierce in spirit, clever in positioning, brave in recovery runs. Yet modern fullback play is merciless: sprint, overlap, recover, repeat. Liverpool have always known when to move on. Emlyn Hughes, Kenny Dalglish as player-manager, Steven Gerrard's American farewell. Not cruel decisions, but necessary ones. 3 Premier League clubs watching closely. Within England, Wolves, Crystal Palace and Aston Villa are among the 3 Premier League clubs credited with monitoring Robertson's situation. Each represents a different path. Aston Villa under Unai Emery, appointed in November 2022, offer European ambition. Crystal Palace under Oliver Glasner, in charge since February 2024, promise tactical reinvention. Wolves, guided by Vitor Pereira, would give Robertson responsibility and minutes. And then there is Celtic. Romance lives there. Robertson has often spoken warmly of Parkhead, and the pull of home is real. Atletico Madrid, too, admire his grit, reportedly seeing traits suited to Diego Simeone's steel. Yet Robertson's identity is Liverpool. The roar of Anfield, the Cops hymn, the nights when his cross bent like a question mark and someone in red answered. Slot-era planning defines Liverpool future. Liverpool's transition into the Arne Slot era has been thoughtful rather than frantic. The Dutchman inherited champions and understands the balance between respect and renewal. Robertson symbolizes that balance. No one forgets Istanbul survivors or Madrid winners. No one forgets the lad from Glasgow who outran doubt itself. But football clubs must look ahead. Liverpool's planning reflects this truth: loyalty honored, evolution embraced. For Liverpool supporters, there will be sadness if he leaves. For Robertson, there will be pride. And for those 3 Premier League clubs circling, there will be hope that a Warriors' final acts still carry thunder. Football rarely offers neat endings. Yet if Robertson's Liverpool journey closes, it will close with medals in the cabinet, memories in the stands, and a legacy etched into Anfield's brickwork forever.